Howdy doodly, everybody. Whoa, I forgot to give the stinger to my producer tonight. So, oops, my bad. That is on old high tonight, but that's a-okay because tonight we got a great little bit of a show for you tonight. GG No Team versus Thanks Gaming for the EX Frontier Master League Day 3. We're going to be bringing it down, bringing it low, and bringing it high. And I absolutely am ecstatic because Thanks Gaming has been practicing a lot of cool Pokemon that I'm excited to see come into the mix there that they have not really been working too much on in the past, but now they're bringing it back. We've seen Slowbros, Mammoth Swines, mostly just tank stuff coming in. We've been expanding. And if anybody who's familiar with EUIC has seen tank stuff, has been absolutely demonic. Crustals, Mammoth Swines galore. But we are into game number 1. Thanks Gaming going to be your purple team. GG No Team, your orange team. That's weird to say. And we're getting into this game number 1 here. So let's take a look at the comps there. We got Greninja, Wigglytuff, an Eevee of some sort with the Suicune and a Blissey. I absolutely love this comp from Thanks Gaming there. We got a lot of CC coming in. I believe, yep, that is an Umbreon, the good old-fashioned Umbreon. But we see Decidueye on GG No Team. They took that away from us. They must know a few things about it. With the Venusaur, Zacian, an Eevee of some sort. That looks like the Vaporeon. That's a good grab. And a Psyduck. So this is not going to be an easy comp to deal with because unlike Thanks Gaming, I do not believe that this Dartrix, this Decidueye, is going to be Razor Leaf. I believe it's actually going to be Spirit Shackle. And without too much healing from the side of the Blissey there, because as we can see, that is a Safeguard Blissey. We're going to be seeing some action there, but we've been talking too much. A lot of action going down here. 850 birds are up, and we're going to be following the Dartrix into the top lane, into the Wigglytuff and the Suicune here. GG No Team is pushing the pressure on. They're going hard onto this pad. They want the points in. Haven't scored yet, but here are the first points for them hitting the board now. 16-39. Zacian's not scoring there. They're going to get their level 5 and more importantly, keep 19 points in the pocket. They are going to need these 19 points because that's what's going to trigger their ability for those instant empowered cooldowns. But Greninja's already online. JK's already on top of the Dartrix. They said, hey, listen, we got the Blissey, but you took my Decidueye. And now you got to pay the price, which is the Greninja tax. We're already going deep into the real estate here, trying to grab as much of the central farm from the side of GG No Team. Doing an excellent job of that, by the way. The biggest Pokemon on the map. You got to starve at the Decidueye as much as possible. And they're only hitting level 6. They're not on level 7 yet. So, listen, if there's any team that's able to counter a Decidueye effectively, it should be. It better be Thanks Gaming here. But we take down the Dartrix. That's a crucial KO because now the Bulbasaur has to pull back. 106-16. Nice 30 cap there from JKDX. Now we got 25 seconds until our lane objectives are in. Now, if we take a look, we got 720 birds now in. Zacian still got lots of points there. We got the Metal Claw build coming out. Any projectiles coming their way going to be reflected back at you. Damage mitigated. That's going to be an interesting thing to do. So here we go. We're taking on the Wigglytuff. Entei holding the line there, which is not their usual lane. So this is actually kind of, no, never mind. It's not Entei. It's PK. That is not their usual lane still. They're usually in the bot lane there, but double KO as we come in. There's the Water Berserk 3 KO streak now as they're dunking these points in. 159-16, 189. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I was. PK has to reset now, so we're going to be starting the move on the Reggie Rock, starting to get that chip down. Defense, special defense buffs coming your way as we're starting to put small scores, which gives us Unite move charges, gives us experience, gives us a little bit of, a little bit of tilt, and more importantly, points on the board down in the bottom lane. Now, since that first score at around that 830 mark there, of 16 points, GG No Team has not been able to put another score into the pad here. So Thanks Gaming has done a fantastic job of zoning out and playing to their strengths of being able to stop these deep pads from getting scored on here. But as we can see, we got Glue Sniffer already going in there. We have Zazie going in with the huge auto attacks. Now we do have double beam. We got the Greninja into the back line with the Blissey going in on it. The Bliss assist, picking up the KO on the Decidueye. Zazie pulled back there, sent back to Nurse Joyce. Thanksgiving is crashing this pad. Regieleki and Toe, 288-16. GG No Team is saying GG No Re as they're getting wiped with the floor with right now. Unfortunate to see, but they still have lots of game to come back from. And if there's one thing we know about teams in the Master League is that they thrive in that comeback scenario. They thrive in that comeback situation. And GG No Team is no stranger to it, and they have pulled it off in the Challengers Rise tournament. Challengers Rise League tournament. Stop spreading misinformation. So that is something that you're going to be able to do, that you're going to be able to see, hopefully, from GG No Team. Because listen, as much as I want Thanksgiving to win, I'm also biased against them because that's the type of manager I am. But already we have Thanksgiving going in. 2 KO streak on the Greninja there. The Decidueye doesn't seem to be working. Double snipe comp, despite the fact that this Blissey's not heals, is just not working out for GG No Team right now. But what is important is that Venusaur is the beam. Decidueye is the Spirit Shackle. We do have the Knock coming out. Massive damage here. We pick up PK. Now that we have to pull back there, JK is really the only real damage here on the side of Thanksgiving there. But this is what I mean. When we have those double beams, those are double secure moves. So Kyogre is going to have to watch out, because this is a map that you do not want Kyogre lost on, because unlike Groudon, who does give the score speed increase buff there, Kyogre also shuts down your pads. No heals, no shields for 45 seconds there. We're able to collect on the Regidrago. We're able to collect on a lot of these wild Pokemon here, capturing them, putting them inside those Aeos balls. And that's exactly what you want to do. You get those points. That's how you're going to dunk them there. But Greninja, level 14. Decidueye just hitting 13, though. That is a very crucial milestone for it to get. That's a lot of good damage. It's a great power spike to hit. But we do miss the snipe shots. We need to make sure we got everybody there. But you also got to make sure you're playing Pac-Man, you're clearing those yellow dots, and that's exactly what they're doing. But we're going for the engage. The knock comes out. There goes the beams, and all of a sudden, PK is deleted. Regieleki was secured and is now playing for the side of Thanksgiving here. But we're still not done. The onslaught continues. 301-16. Fairy's going to be taken down, or I think that's Entei now, taken down on this weekend, guys. I am not used to Thanksgiving playing 4 supports and a carry. So sometimes I don't even know who my carry guys are playing in this support type comp, because normally you could tell there's a Blastoise or something like that. But no, these guys, they like to throw me off. They like to play games with me. So, I mean, when that happens, it happens. But 301-16, 26 seconds left now until Kyogre spawns in. Glue Sniffer in a very dangerous situation. One wrong move, that KO, gone. Clocked off the map there. So you got to take a look, and you got to stay soon there. So, oh my gosh. So I really hope that GG No Team is able to find a way to bounce back coming into this Kyogre fight. 5 seconds, you have to take a position in the pit. You have no other choice. Down by almost 300 points, you know you're the team that needs to make the play. I mean, look at the pad situation on the board. There's no way you got the numbers on those pads there without it, but we're looking for the engage. There goes the Zacian. The Icicle Crot, the endless ice spikes coming out, but the Water Berserkin going in. We're looking for the Zacian. We take down the Zacian, first victim of this fight. Now we're going to be collapsing there. We do have the Sai come out. Damage reduction galore, which is exactly what you want, but the Starlight Recital to cleanse it all. Glue Sniffer in the thick of it, right in between everybody, gets taken down. The first casualty of Thanksgiving. But we are starting to rip on Kyogre, which means we're starting the zone. There goes the Venusaur, but here comes the Decidueye. Spirit Shackle in the pocket. We are collapsing, and it's gone. Deleted, eviscerated, taken off the map. Now there goes Suicune with the secure on the Kyogre, and that's it. Thanksgiving has it in the pocket. 5 blue buffs in a dream. But GG No Team is still on the map. They're still raring to go. This is only game number 1 in the best of 3 set tonight. So GG No Team is going to be looking for that way to come back into the set here. They got to look for KOs. They got to get points, and they got to act fast. That clock is ticking down. We have the Verdant Anger coming out, but it's not going to be enough. 437 to 16 as 2 more members fall to the onslaught that is Thanks Gaming. The Horde has collapsed, and your home pad is its prey. And that is going to seal it in for GG No Team. Game number 1 on this, undoubtedly going towards Thanks Gaming. What a great showing from the team. They've had a rough first 2 days of the Master League, taking on Team Tantrum and Ignorance, and unfortunately losing 2-0. So this was a much needed win that they needed in their pocket. Now we're going 1-0 right now, match point position going into game 2. This is what you want. This is what you want to see. This is what you love. But GG No Team, they have to go back to the drawing board. By the fact that they took the Decidueye away, clearly they were scared of Decidueye being in the hands of Thanks Gaming. Not necessarily a Pokemon you want to ban, but overall, yeah. But speaking of bans, we can take a look at that battle data, and we can take a look at the bans, and we can actually see what's going on here, because we can't see what the bans are because we're not in the draft. So because we're not in the draft and we're into our spectate mode, we're not going to be able to see it. So let's take a look at the battle data there. But JK coming at 16 KOs, but Z-Ray coming in at 6 KOs as well on the Decidueye. The only Pokemon to score 16 points, one score the entire game, is unfortunately what GG No Team was able to get. That just speaks to how Thanks Gaming was able to shut them down and go from there. But let's take a look at the bans now as well. Miraidon, Mega Lucario, Mega Charizard Y. Thanks Gaming clearly doesn't like that range damage, which GG No Team brought in spades, as well as they don't like those Mega Pokemon. Something to be aware of as well, Meow, Surfetched, legal. And as you can see, Blastoise, Mega Gyarados gone, typical staples. Surfetched, though, making its round onto the ban list. We do not want to see that in this game there. So if you're not going to be in first pick, second pick, or so if you're not going to be in first pick, you don't want to see it there. So I don't actually know what pick these teams did, so that's not something we are privy to, unfortunately. But yeah, so far, decent showing. 118K on JK, 70K on Entei there. Listen, Fairy, I don't want to judge or anything like that, but I've never seen your Suicunes hit 70K damage. But the Decidueye Z-Ray, look at that, 100K damage on that thing with Spirit Shackle in a game where you only get one stack as well as being oppressed. So in the hands of Z-Ray, that definitely is a Pokemon that is powerful, but they just didn't have the right tools into the comp that Thanks Gaming had. So what do we do? How do we pivot? What do we look at? Maybe lockdown Pokemon. Slowbro is great at shutting down single targets there. And the way Thanks Gaming played the last game, that's exactly what that game was. It was a single target. You lock out that Greninja, you take it down. Sure, the rest of Thanks Gaming is still there, but they don't have a secure option. I mean, you can try to underestimate the Wigglytuff, because Wigglytuff in a carry role is very, very deadly, especially when you've got the Sing to lower special defense and you got the Pokemon to back it up, to take it down, to utilize that special defense drop. So that is also very scary as well. But we had tools like the Zashi in there on the side of GG No Team. That is a very powerful Pokemon as well. But it did recently lose its it did recently lose its Unstoppable on, pardon me there, lost its Unstoppable on that Sovereign Sword. So Sovereign Sword is its Unite move. You're able to charge it, and that entire time, you can't be pushed around. You can't be flipped on your head. You can be slowed, but that's about it. You just can't be touched. But that's been downgraded to hindrance resistant. So you're now vulnerable. You can now be touched. And it's not necessarily a good one. Not necessarily a good one. So that is unfortunate. But we still got a lot of good action to come your way, because we still have one more game. So we need to take a look at this, and we need to say, hey, what's going to happen here? Sorry, I was just getting that there. So, oh, hang on. I can only multitask so much. I'm one guy. Yeah, no, we're still waiting there. Yeah, of course. So when it comes to these games, because it's spectate mode, you're going to see old Hyde a whole lot there. You're going to see me all my jittery. Listen, this is why we had some of the tech issues earlier there. We're just trying to sort some things out. So this is the first time that I've had a producer on the channel doing all of the work, and it's fantastic. But of course, there's going to be a few hiccups there because again, it's the first time. So it's my first time, guys. I'm so innocent, you know. You gotta be gentle. Be gentle with me, all right? That's all I ask. That's all I ask, guys. So, but no, like I'm excited to see what Thanksgiving is going to crack it now because how GG No Team's going to respond to this, knowing that they now have a cracked Greninja in the pocket. I mean, if you do your research on JK, you know they've got Palmot, Garchomp. What other Pokemon does he have? Empoleon. Like he's got a cracked Empoleon there too. So Cinderace is pretty cracked in his hands too. So there's a lot of Dragapult too. Some little bit more niche Dragapult, but those are some of the options that you're able to pull off. So some of the options that you're able to do. So this is kind of like exciting and where things can kind of like top off there because if we deny the Decidueye, if we deny the tools that can make up the Decidueye, then we look at other options to try and you can look at other options there. And I think, I believe it was it was either Don Looks or Texas Today at EUIC. And that said it the best. You can ban the Pokemon, but you can't ban the player. And I absolutely love that. Thank you, production, for giving me that tidbit of wisdom because that was absolutely gorgeous what he said. Because we get a little bit of trash talking and we see that come through and all of a sudden you drop that line, boom! You're like, whoa, shots fired. And again, guys, if you have not seen EUIC today, you have not seen the best Pokemon Unite that's ever been played so far. And because I'm going to tell you right now, EUIC today was cracked. 12 teams went head to head against each other from day one, and they absolutely dominated every match. Some matches today, like yesterday, you were like, oh, okay, we can kind of understand. We can kind of see where they were going. Today wasn't the day. None of the matches today. We had a top team in NA lose and get knocked out because of 6 points. 6 points. That's insane. But what's even more insane is that we have the draft up. And we do no Blissey, so I believe Blissey was banned, but we got the Decidueye back in the hands of JKDX. Now, is this what GG No Team is willing to do? Is this a Pokemon that they're like, all right, we have a plan for it. We didn't get baited. You did. You fell into our trap. Or are we going to get swamped by the Decidueye there? One of the ways to help set Thanksgiving back is an invade there. But because we have that Mega Gyarados, we can't send the Snorlax there. So the Eldegoss would be the next bet there, but we're up in the top lane there. So no invades coming Thanksgiving's way, which means Dartrix, level 5 online, but Snorlax. Again, let's talk about this Pokemon. Great engage, great secure. We got the invade from the Glue Sniffer on the Greedent, by the way. Chaos already ensuing. This is amazing to see. I'm excited to see what this Greedent's going to be able to pull off because in the hands of Seal, who loves the Chaos Pokemon as much as I do, and is sort of a Sableye advocate. He's on board with it, but, you know, we get shut down a lot, so that's okay. That's okay. One day, I will convince Thanksgiving to run Sableye. One day. Just for chat. Totally not for Hyde. Just for chat. Just to see just how glorious it can be run in the comp like Thanksgiving. But 48-37, the scores are close. The 850 Birds already gone. Eevee deleted. That fight, not even close. GG No Team took it by storm. Now they're moving into the central lane. Dartrix does not have the tools to take on a level 6 Ceruledge. I don't care if you're the same level. You can't take it on. But with an Umbreon, that might be different. Pop it in the mean look. Now we start hitting with the auto attacks and boom! The Decidueye is online. This is why you got to play to protect the president. This is why you got to have the secret pocket there. Doesn't matter if it's a pink little Blissey. Doesn't matter if it's a dark little Umbreon. You got to make sure you have that pocket going with you when you play that Razor Leaf Decidueye. If you don't have that pocket, you're going to struggle. Here. But the Age of Slash is also online. Another threat for this Decidueye, but it's the glue sniffer that comes in for the secure on the Regidrago. That is absolutely insane. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock there. This could be it. Thanksgiving could take this 2-0 scenario there. They are in match point, so GG No Team has to bring out all the stops, all the secret plans, all the workings in the back there. They got to bring them out, because if not, they lose this match. And early on in the standings for the Master League, you do not want to lose these stats. But we already have the Mist Blast coming out. Boom! From the Latias. Huge damage coming in there, along with that Mist Ball to be able to help shut that down. That damage reduction is exactly what you want to see. We do have the Gyarados online, but it's only level 6. That's 3 levels away from its Mega Evolution. 3 levels away means that Thanks Gaming just gets that much longer to mess around, toy with, to just decimate and eat on these wild Pokemon, denying GG No Team any sort of experience. They're going to be playing for the Regieleki. They're pushing for those pads. They're pushing them hard. GG No Team prioritizing the experience there, getting a Regirock buff in the pocket. Defense, special defense coming their way. 203 to 91 here. They might be keeping power on the levels there, starting to come back up. 9 on the Aegis Slash, 9 on the Ceruledge. They might be able to push the pads there, but Regieleki, the T1 pad on the side of Regieleki is gone. Now we're putting points in for free on the T2 pad. And this makes me ecstatic. Thanks Gaming has been static onto these points there, but they've now pivoted. When you see a trade going in, they're willing to make that trade back. This is a team that is evolving, that is growing, that is being fed information, experience, and it's great to see them be able to grow this way. GG No Team, seeing them come in from Challengers Rise and being able to keep up with the caliber of teams that we have seen in the Master League so far, and being not just among them, but one of the top teams too. This is insane to see as well. So GG No Team, Thanks Gaming, looking to like they're really strong this set there. So 5 minutes, 30 seconds left. Now we're going to be diving in. The Ceruledge looking to grab that Greedent. There's Greedent's looking to grab something. No, we get the Chaos away. There's Aegis Slash looks to dive in, but Blastoise comes in. Now we get that Dragon Pulse coming in, the Mist Ball to reduce the damage, not enough to save the Blastoise. That KO is going to help GG No Team start looking for positioning within the central pit. What is the value that they're going to be looking for that? I don't know, but Eldegoss is going to be taken down on that Greedent. Greedent getting taken down by the Eldegoss is something indeed. I'm sorry, Sale. Somebody has to say it. Whoo! But Decidueye, Razor Leaf Decidueye is putting in the work. While we are able to find small KOs on other Pokemon there, Decidueye is just able to continue to feed it HP, experience, especially with this Umbreon there. The mean look is just so mean, and the Greedent paired with it, even meaner. Now, this is going to be an important objective as well. Regieleki taken before the 4-minute mark. Lots of time. These objectives in the lanes have a 2-minute respawn timer. And with the pad gone, this now a win condition that's been set up. And Ceruledge comes in with the Revenant Ren. We're going for the Decidueye there, but here comes shields. Here comes some healing. And there it goes. The Drain Crown in action. The Latias is now here to go with the Mist Ball to help out. This block is coming through to try to buy time for the rest of GG No Team to escape. But the Greedent is on their tails, taking down the Gyarados. They're pushing the home pad. They're pushing it hard. Here we go. GG No Team, 1, 2, 3 down, but they're just like that. They're respawn. Those cooldown timers are small at this juncture for this time, which is amazing for them. They got to be looking for KOs. They got to look for the punishment. They got to look for the push. Decidueye coming in with the Razor Leaf, takes it down. Regieleki connects. Points are coming in, 388 to 130. Massive lead for Thanks Gaming against GG No Team. And the sad part is that there is one more Regieleki that could barrel down towards that home pad. This is something that GG No Team needs to clap back on and come back and just say, all right, listen, something's got to happen. And look, right now, something is happening. They're going for the Reggie Drago. They're trying to zone out. But more importantly, they're trying to find the KO on the Decidueye. But we do have its PK doing a fantastic job with those Blastoise surfs, pinning the enemy against the walls, pushing them away from JK with the Hydro Pumps. This is absolute insane work. 4 KO streak for that Decidueye. Blastoise denying him the Penta like a good Blastoise should. Don't let JK get out of hand. Put him in his place. Don't let his ego get out of hand. Put him in his place. I would almost say bend that Decidueye over and put a Hydro Cannon right into its face. Put it in its place. Regis Steel is going to be taken now by the Lottie. Us attack and special attack buffs now going for the side of Thanks Gaming. 90 seconds is how long that will last for. But now we're going to be able to come in and take down the Kyogre. This means this will last longer into the Kyogre. So we're looking for positioning. We don't care about the Regieleki. Positioning is power. Now we are going to be tipping and toeing, dancing and prancing, tapping and clapping onto that Snorlax there. There goes the Surf. They're going in for the rip. They're going for the flip. The Hydro Typhoon comes out. The Aegislash picks up the Kyogre. The flip was successful. The Greedent goes down. There goes the Blastoise and the Decidueye. GG No Team just said, we got the tools. We got the rip. We did the flip. And now we're going to game 3. Hopefully. We push too deep onto the T2 pad. Snorlax able to connect the 80 points, break the T2, T1 pad. Now it's on the T2. 488 to 410. Now we have 510 to 488, 610 to 488. A minute and a half. Lots of time for Thanks Gaming to pull back here. We have the Eldegoss. That's a crucial buff. Very weak, very squishy Pokemon. Taken down. There's the buff. Going for the side of the Umbreon there. Thanks Gaming now is collapsing on the Aegislash. They are working in tandem as a unit. Absolutely moving with the healer gone. Aegislash is vulnerable, and boom, they might not have a lot of damage on their own, but together, united, they're able to take down the Aegislash there, despite the bulk, despite the shields. And again, now with a Greedent and Umbreon, the tankiest Pokemon on their team, with these buffs in the pocket there, 500 to 610. A hundo burger, and then 6 points to boot. But the Revenant Ring comes out. The Blastoise is gone with Hydro Typhoon in the pocket there. That is not good. The Empower Nap comes out, and Snorlax is healed, and there goes the Umbreon. That's one of the crucial buffs played back in the hands of GG No Team. Decidueye is still looking for that Leaf Storm there, but gets taken down. Isn't enough, but the Glue Sniffer still has it in the pocket. They're trying for the scores, but they're not able to get them in. Glue Sniffer goes down, and potentially the hopes and dreams of Thanks Gaming. Folks, I didn't think it happened, but we're going to a game 3. GG No Team's able to clutch it out. The 1-1 scenario, and now both teams are in match point position. You absolutely love to see the comeback story. You love to see the underdogs come back. And right away, when you lose game 1, you're automatically underdog. And if you're the underdog, it's automatically rooting for you. I don't care if I manage for Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, guys. Not sorry. Maybe if you played Sableye a little more, I would be done by default your #1 cheerleader. But you don't touch Sableye. But let's take a look at the bans here. Miraidon, make Lucario, make a Charizard Wide. Same old, same old. We get it. It's done. It's gone. But GG No Team. Blissey. Yes, that was a problem in Pokemon there with the Greninja game #1. We said, get it gone, get it out of here. We don't want to touch it. Boom. Wigglytuff. Also a problem. We didn't want to deal with that. The Sing's too annoying. Get it out of here. Gone. Alcremie. Surprisingly enough, now this is where team research comes in. If you're not familiar with Thanks Gaming, just taking a quick look at the API, you wouldn't know that we play Alcremie. You wouldn't know that we go in and we pair that with a nice little pocket like the Decidueye, because it gives, while not as strong as Safeguard, it gives a pseudo Safeguard, and the Empower to Decorate has a bit of a cleanse to it. So that is kind of crucial, and that can be paired with the Decidueye, as well as with that Dazzling Gleam as well. You can razzle and dazzle your way into victory. But Decidueye coming in at 162k damage. Blastoise 72k there. Fairy clearly was the MVP of the side of Thanksgiving there. Those mean looks were on point, stopping an invade going in with the mean look on that Umbreon there, stopping any sort of advantage there that GG No Team was looking to press against Thanksgiving. So overall, this was a very strong showing from Fairy on that Umbreon there. But over on the side of GG No Team, Snorlax and Eldegoss, 72k heals on the Eldegoss alone. That's insane. Snorlax able to find those pivots, find those engages to help set up GG No Team for those victories, because Aegislash, even though it is on the front lines, even though it's bulky, and I don't think they got as much value out of the Aegislash as I feel they could have. If Aegislash was up there getting the vision along with the Snorlax, which allowed the Ceruledge and the Gyarados to plan their assault. So we saw Ceruledge go for some flanks, come in, Revenant Rend. The focus of the Revenant Rend, straight to the Decidueye. Why? Because Blissey's gone, the cleanse is gone. What counters Ceruledge? Well, Blissey... what counters Ceruledge? Sorry, I got distracted there. Boom. But you get one little distraction and your brain's just like, turn off! But no, we're good. So, what else counters Ceruledge but Wigglytuff? That is another reason why they banned it out. Starlight Recital is a massive team-wide full heal. And when you use the Revenant Rend as a Ceruledge into that group, but then all of a sudden, the Wigglytuff just starts getting the groove on, starts getting the tap on, starts letting those vocals sing hallelujah. All of a sudden, Revenant Rend is absolutely useless, you know? Like, that is gone, it's done, it's over. So you need Revenant Rend if you want that you want that power, you want that stun that's going to be locked on, especially if your focus is to hit the Decidueye each and every time. And boy, howdy, did they do that. Then yeah, you want to ban out any tools there. So how is Thanksgiving going to respond? Because that's what GG No Team did. They banned out all of the potential Pokemon that has any sort of cleansing ability for the Decidueye, allowing the Gyarados to get on top of it with the Dragon Current, allowing the Ceruledge to get on with the Revenant Rend, utilizing those Unite moves, because you could be losing all game long, but it comes down to the final fight, that Kyogre, that Groudon, or if you're crazy enough, Rayquaza. It comes down to those fights. So, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, what's up, Piper? I'm having a little chat with the audience there. We got one more game to go. How you doing? Come here. Yeah, come here. Come say hi. Oh, little doggo action. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Yes. Say hi. She's very shy now that she's on camera. All right. Oh, no. No, that wasn't an invitation. Where's your toy? Where's your new toy? I don't know where it is. Oh, I don't have my distraction. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ah! All right, we got rid of her for a moment there. Momentary distraction, and now she's back, of course. No worries. That's how things go. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how things are going to pan out coming into game number 2, because this is exciting. Because again, we are in that game 3 scenario, that really strong game 3 scenario that both teams don't really want to be in. Thanksgiving, they won game 1, they don't want to be in that. But more importantly, GG No Team, they lost game 1, so they want to be in that game 3 scenario because that's how they win. This is their way to come back. So now, while they're going to be able to do that, they're going to be looking to get it done. They're going to be looking to send it off. So I am excited to see how both teams are going to react now, because this is it. It's the last one. And boom, already no Blissey, no Wigglytuff. We're walking back the Ceruledge. So, but we're bringing in the Mr. Mime. We're bringing in the Umbreon again. We're bringing in the Vaporeon this time. And instead of just the Decidueye, we're bringing in Mew. That's a deadly Pokemon in the hands of Entei there. Do not let Entei have that Mew. If you do, you're going to regret it there. But what's coming back? Magikarp. Mega Gyarados. What's now in the hands of the other GG No Team? Blastoise. with the Sarah Ledge. What's to help tank that? Any sort of damage that Thanksgiving is going to be looking to output? Eldegoss with heals, Delmise with nice frontline sustain, CC, and of course, damage there. Delmise, I believe, is going to be a strong pairing if they're able to get the levels off here, but that's only if they get the levels. We're getting a lot of aggressiveness right off the get-go from Thanksgiving. Entei doing the good work of Arceus as the Mew, looking to get last hits galore, manages to almost get it. Almost getting it there. But Sarah Ledge is already down in the bottom lane. Z-Ray is going down there with the Dartrix. JK has come here, but Z-Ray is already now moving into the top. They said, you know what? Dartrix is down there. He's not going to pivot. He's not going to move. We can grab some Natus, and then we don't show ourselves. Maybe we get a little bit ahead. Maybe get a little level spike. Magikarp. Almost a Gyarados, though, 3/4 of the way. The fight is here. The 850 birds are gone. They're looking for the engage there. Sarah Ledge looks for the dive. They find the Dartrix. They said, that's my target. We're going for it. Let's take out a little bit of Mew there. And there we go. 1, 2, 3. Down in the bottom lane as Thanksgiving wiped off the board. GG No Team claiming not just the first goal, but the Gyarados and massive lead of 60 points. Down up here in the top lane, though, we do have the Delmise with that Eldegoss there. They are level 5s apiece. Mr. Mime and Umbreon just ticking into their level 5s as well. So this is very good. They're going even. They're going toe-to-toe. No scores in the top side at all. So they're going even, so it's just about trades on the neutral Pokemon here, on the neutral wild Pokemon. Got to get those captures in place, but Regidrago is looking to help them get their power spikes a little bit sooner. We do not see GG No Team showing up. We saw Gyarados take a little poke. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go. Nope, they're all there. I'm not touching that. My team ain't with me. But now they're on the pad. They're going to be defending. And we do have vision. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of Thanksgiving has been revealed. GG No Team knows exactly what they're doing. And this could be a mistake to leave the Delmise into the top lane by themselves, as they are now looking to try to get any sort of experience onto the Delmise here. And more importantly, stacks. And that's exactly what they're doing. That's 1, that's 2. There's 3 stacks right there. GoldenEye is eating for 3. But the Mr. Mime and the Sarah Ledge have come up top to help them say no. Sarah Ledge has the Revenant Rend in the pocket there. That is a crucial Unite move to be used against JK onto that Decidueye. Right now, the focus of Thanksgiving should be to bait out this Revenant Rend, to lock it down possibly with the meat look, to try to do something. But the Nocta comes out. People have said, that's not a secure move. What are you doing? JK proved them wrong. Shredded it, secured it, and had a little bit left over. Razor Leaf coming in, and there goes the Eldegoss there. Now we're looking for the Sarah Ledge. Sarah Ledge gone with the Revenant Rend in the pocket there. Ward's not able to get it gone. Listen, if you can't bait it out, you might as well take him down before he can use it. That is a great strategy. Right away, we're now taking the lead, 159 to 116. But what doth eyes deceive me? No! Gyarados down in the bottom lane here with 30 points going in to try to even this score here. Thanksgiving rotating through that central path, looking for this juicy real estate that GG No Team has. Now they're going through. They're looking to try to get any more of experience as well. JK level 10. Want to keep it that way. We do have surrounded on all fronts, though, of Pokemon there. But look at this. Glue Sniffer PK combo wombo, able to distract them, allowing JK to come out from being surrounded. They're going back into the jungle there, going to that central lane, capture all those wild Pokemon there. Entei gets taken down, and so does Fairy. Follows next. The burn into, the Citrus Berry. Nah, never mind. She almost got away, but it wasn't quite close. GG No Team taking a leaf out of Thanksgiving. They said, listen, if they're going to move us to 5, we might as well do that. It's working for them. Why can't it work for us? That's exactly what's going to happen there. And we now have 3 members of Thanksgiving away from this Decidueye up in the top there with the Glue Sniffer there. So we do not have the 5-man army that we absolutely need to shred and decimate there. But GG No Team is that 5-man army. We look for the pick on the Decidueye with the anchor shot. We miss. That is good for Thanksgiving, not so good for GG No Team. So, but we picked the Blastoise out. We got with the barrier, baiting out the Hydro Typhoon, but PK gets knocked up with the Revenant Rend. We're going in deep. We're going in hard. Eldegoss comes up. The Mystical Mirage comes in, saves the JK. DX. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for that 5th Penta KO. There it is. GG No Team wiped off the map Points are coming in for a nice 43 over for Thanksgiving. That's going to put them at 214 points. Now it's 100 to 146. Not the biggest lead, but enough to make a difference. And you know what? I can say that all day long, but really in this game, 1 point, or in the case of Root Dignitas, 6 points is all it takes to make the difference. Whoo! But now we're going to be coming in 1-1 match point position. 4 minutes left on the clock. 214 to 146 there. Regilecki on the table. Thanksgiving wants it, but they might be playing for the KOs here. Blastoise goes in for the surf. Regilecki comes out. The knockdown comes through. We're not able to get the secure on it because of the body block, but we shred the Blastoise. The Seaweed Snare comes in. We're going in deep. We're trying to get the shields or we're trying to get the feels, but we're not able to. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. KOs. Goodbye. GG. Get out of here. But Mega Gyarados just evolved. They're in the back lines and boom! They get popped like a piñata and Chaos Energy explodes all over the map. Ready for Thanksgiving to pick it all up and move towards the Regidrago. Blue Sniffer is looking to put some pressure into the central path, claiming a Baltoy, but more importantly, getting a little bit of vision on where GG No Team might be. This is going to allow Thanksgiving to plan their pivots. They're moving as a 4-man death ball right now, so this is exactly what they want to be doing. They want to be doing that. They're looking for 15 on the Decidueye, but more importantly, Decidueye still has that knock-knock not in their pocket there. So we got to be looking to try to get that. Entei's going to get caught out there. We do have that surf coming in. They just said, you know what? I'm just going to accept my fate. I'm going to pop some damage off. We're going to min-max that damage, that stat at the end of the game there, because why the heck not? I got vision on you guys. I'm going to get some Unite charge there. Boom, I got the Unite in my pocket, and I'm good to go. 10 seconds now until this top Reggie spawns in. The anchor shot comes in, picks up the Vaporeon. We get a nice hit on it, but ultimately not doing much except getting information. Information's actually very important in this game. Blue Sniffer gets picked up there. Better of a target than Vaporeon because it doesn't have the sustain to bring it back up. But look at that, already back to full HP. Reggie Rock, the blessing of Reggie Rock. Defense, special defense for 90 seconds. Now playing for the side of Thanksgiving. Blastoise looking to be an early pick. Boom! There's the Mew! Solar Beam! This is what they want, baby! Hydro Typhoon no longer a threat. They're looking for the Eldegoss. The Cloud Crash has to come out early just for the survival. Boom! There's the Ceruledge! Revenant Ren no longer an issue. They can't get back onto it, but now they got to look for the Seaweed Snare. They're going to look for the Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados has to come out just to survive. They're looking for the Decidueye. They get back here. They get on it. Are they able to eat? Boom! Boom! Here we go. Decidueye's gone, but so is the Gyarados. So is the Delmise. So is the Eldegoss. It's Blastoise and a Dream. 214 to 146, but doth thy eyes deceive. There is the Ceruledge coming into the top side. It has the Revenant Ren in the pocket. Can Entei bait it out? No, they're not able to. They can't bait it up, but they have to try to get away. Boom. Go, Entei. Go. Move those feet, you legendary dog, cat, creature thing that we don't know. That is, for some reason, a Mew. Guys, we might have had a jump scare from JK. We are still casting this game live with 1 minute, 10 seconds left. The Kyogre's still here. They're going for the rip. The Gyarados is on it. The Revenant Ren comes through. Look for the secure. It's the Ceruledge that picks it up. Fairy is down. So is PK. All of a sudden, now goes Entei. The defense there, it's all they have. Razor Leaf Decidueye into the showtime. Mr. Mime. We're looking for it. We take down the Ceruledge, but it's not going to be enough. Mr. Mime and a Dream, and that Dream is looking to be dashed. Hundo Burgers are going to be reigning in for GG No Team, but Fairy's back. We are able to intercept and interrupt, but we're not able to stop the Eldegoss. Can we stop this Gyarados there? 30 seconds on the clock. A quick KO. No, 520 to 286. This is the dream of GG No Team as Thanksgiving watches that clock wind down. No, here we go. 1, 2, 3 down. Not enough manpower, not enough points. Too much distance as GG No Team claims game number 3 and the set 2-1. Woo! Oh my goodness. They did not make it easy, but they came back. They knew what the plan was, but the early catch on the Ceruledge, I bet you their hearts were jumping. I bet you their hearts were racing because, boy, howdy, was that one heck of a comeback. 612 to 286. Razor Leaf Decidueye, 10 KOs versus Z-Ray with the 7 there. Oh, again, Fairy doing great work on that Umbreon. Those mean looks were on point. Glue Sniffer being able to zone. Like the zoning was there for Thanksgiving. That's why Decidueye was able to come online so easily. And then Blastoise was a quick second pick, follow up with the Hydro Typhoon in the pocket. We had to force some Unite moves just to stay alive with the Cotton Cloud Crash, but just wasn't enough. And the healing off that Eldegoss there, 81K to PK 65. Whoo! Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. What a game, what a match, what a set indeed. But that is all we're going to have for you tonight there. Thanks Gaming's going to go back, talk it over. They got to come back for round 2 tomorrow, where they're going to be taking on TGS Weewaga, formerly known as Last Order. They are your Challengers Rise champions, so they are not a foe to be taken lightly. What time hide are you asking? 8:30 p.m. EST. Where can I watch this magnificent action? Right here, live on this channel. And that's where you're going to be able to watch it. That's where you're going to be able to catch it. All the Thanks Gaming action you could want right here until we make another channel. But guys, until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.